Well, here in Connecticut, officials are trying to tackle a heroin crisis.
Today, the city is again at the center of an innovation, a deadly one sweeping across the country.
They're now the #1 killer of people under the age of 50. More people die from that than from car crashes, HIV, or gun deaths.
The numbers are staggering. Heroin arrests, overdoses, and deaths are rising at an alarming rate all over the state of Connecticut.
He called me and he's like, "Hey, did you hear?" And I was like, "Hear what? Like, what am I supposed to hear?" And I didn't think, I was so confused. And he's like, "Zach passed away." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, the police found him this morning. He overdosed on 22 baggies of heroin." He had surgery and had to get oxy, but then he turned it into, I need it, I need it, I need it. Mom and Dad, they finished the pills, so they didn't need them anymore, so then he turned to the street to find stuff. This guy came out and handed him, like Zach was driving, and handed him like a big bag of stuff. And so I asked him what it was, and they were like, "Oh, it's Molly," and like basically a bunch of stuff in this bag. And in it was heroin. It was not something that I wanted to be involved with. It kind of like pushed me away from wanting to be with him because I didn't want to be with someone who was willing to endanger their lives for like a fun hour or two.
Doctors prescribe these painkillers or opioids even though they know that it's addictive because it's a simple fix to a temporary issue. It increases our pleasure and it makes us want to do it more. It affects the amygdala as well, the part in the brain that controls the fear and emotions in the limbic system. Even though it's a substance abuse disorder, it is also very comorbid with a lot of anxiety and depression.
I'm from the town of Berlin, Connecticut. It's got a population of 21,000. We're seeing certainly all the pharmaceuticals, the Oxycontin, MS Contin, oxycodone, Vicodin. I mean, all of those narcotics are across the boards. The pharmaceutical companies falsely were advertising that it's not highly addictive. So consequently, John Doe citizens, all walks of life, were being over-medicated with legal, prescribed medicines that unfortunately had a very highly addictive quality to them. What I have found, at least with the active first responder, law enforcement groups, is that we care about the people. We care about the overdose. We're losing people. Berlin has lost 4 of its citizens in 2016. We've already lost 4 in 2017, varying in age from 20 all the way up to 67. So we've lost people.
Instead of just saying, go to a rehab or you need to seek help right now, I would just sit down with them and listen. We like to not say addiction, but the disorder, because it's affecting their brain, and we shouldn't really put them as the fault, more as their chemicals in their brain that make them chase this addiction and this high.
A program has been established. It's called HOPE, Heroin Overdose Prevention and Education Programs. And the purpose of the program, or the reason why it was brought into being, was so that law enforcement has another option for dealing with people who are abusing opiates. So we're in negotiations now with HOCC, the Hospital of Central Connecticut, New Britain, which is our sponsor hospital for our medical program, and we're trying to set up a HOPE program here. And I think that is going to be a great initiative.
At the end of the day, it's a lesson for me to talk about, or for people to understand that it's not a toy. Like, it's not just for fun. They're not doing it because of you. They're doing it because of something that's going on within themselves. And it's not your fault that they're going through this, and it's not your fault that they turned to something that they're going to get addicted to.